Police are trying to find several suspects after they used a U-Haul to ram into the front of this 7-Eleven store in Seattle's Bitter Lake neighborhood. Smash and grabs like this have been a constant problem in and around Seattle. As KOMO's Mo Haida reports, there's hope recent changes in the state's vehicle pursuit laws could make a difference.
The front of this 7-Eleven now in shambles after a driver of a U-Haul rammed through it. Both doors now gone, along with a couple of windows. The owner and others spent the morning cleaning up the mess left behind. It happened around 2:45 this morning near North 125th Street in Seattle's Bitter Lake neighborhood. SPD says they're looking for several suspects, and off camera, the owner says they tried stealing this ATM but were unsuccessful. While most 7-Elevens are open 24 hours, this one closes at midnight. A neighbor who lives a couple of blocks away says the hours were adjusted after robberies at the store. Jim Fuda with Crime Stoppers says to help deter crime, businesses need to step up security.
I think those concrete pillars in front of stores that can prevent them from getting to the stores is one good way of helping prevent those smash and grab.
He also feels more help is on the way, with state lawmakers in both the House and Senate passing an initiative to expand the current vehicle pursuit laws. Under a law passed in 2021, police could only chase criminals involved in serious violent crimes like domestic violence or vehicular assault as long as they had probable cause. This initiative allows officers to chase if they have a reasonable suspicion a person has violated the law or committed any crime.
I think it is going to be a positive effect. I mean, these criminals are going to think twice. Hey, these cops could come after me now, where before they knew that they could get away with it.
In Seattle, Mo Haida, KOMO News.
SPD says the U-Haul was towed away and was not reported as stolen.
Yeah, that's right, Mary Preston. This is not the first time this has happened. WSDOT said that this latest incident involved 3 people, but just a few months ago, 6 people were sent to the hospital after a similar crash. Along this road on I-5 is where WSDOT officials say a car rammed into 2 maintenance crew vehicles, which injured 3 workers.
These work zones that they set up with different equipment and vehicles, they're there to keep both them safe and the people traveling on the road safe.
WSDOT said all 3 of their workers were evaluated at the hospital and were released, but crashes like these are happening more often and raising serious concerns about the safety of their workers.
A lot of these collisions are avoidable. They're caused by people going too fast, not paying attention, being impaired. And so these are all things that drivers can do and look out for.
WSDOT says their workers are people with families, and all they're trying to do is their job and go home safely at the end of their shift.
There's not just a nameless, faceless person that's out there. We want people to know that these are people, they have a story, they want to get home safe at the end of the day.
Being alert and slowing down are just some of the things WSDOT officials say they want drivers to do to prevent these crashes.
Those equipment that's set up to protect the workers, that you're following those directions, you're slowing down, you're moving over, and you're being alert when you're on the road.
WSDOT officials say that they're doing what they can to protect their workers by putting up these safe work zones, but add that they need everybody's help and to ensure that that happens. For now, reporting in Seattle, Karina Vargas, KOMO News.
This pursuit of a man suspected of DUI took deputies through Lacey and onto a trail that ended with a crash into a trailer. It is just the most recent crime the man is facing, according to authorities.
He was driving at 70 miles an hour on a pedestrian trail. That's the Western Chehalis Trail, on which there were pedestrians walking their dogs, riding their bikes. You run at 70 miles an hour, that is an obscene speed.
Thurston County Sheriff's officials said the man who appeared in court is an 8-time convict who already had active warrants for eluding, assault in the 2nd and 3rd degree. Other previous charges ranged from assaulting law enforcement with a deadly weapon to burglary. KOMO is not showing you his face or naming him yet because he hasn't been formally charged on the most recent incident. Despite all this, in court, his lawyer requested bail be lowered or that he be released.
Qualifies to be released, that the presumption is to release, and I encourage the court to consider that constitutional guarantee.
The man also spoke. He talked about his family and how he provided for them when he was out of jail.
Whatever it is that you guys do today, I accept it. It's okay. Because now my family is doing a lot better since I got out. I went to work and I did what I said I was going to do. Yeah, at the end I messed up, may have allegedly messed up.
Ultimately, the judge decided he'd be held on $70,000 total for this recent chase and an earlier pending case. Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders had this to say about the man's continued extensive criminal history.
How are we here? The public should be infuriated.
Reporting in Thurston County, Paul Rivera, KOMO News.